Alright, here we go. We are in Stint 6 of the DES 24 Hours of Nürburgring race. And I see that the name of the stream is completely broken. I'll change it. Charles has now switched to the co-commentator role, whereas I am now streaming. And it seems we are only 5 people in this stint. From RX I have received a message that they cannot drive because the driver has fever. And with the other 2 guys, I don't know, I have messaged the groups, but they are not responding.
Yeah, very unfortunate, but yeah, we'll continue for now.
Yes, I need to check for Pegasus, also no answer. Yeah, let's start. Very unfortunate situation that we are only 5 drivers now instead of the 9 that were registered. But once again, it's the early morning. It's not really our fault that they are not driving, and we cannot do everything for them.
If we start to drive for them, then we wouldn't need any teams.
That's right. Okay, so it seems Serial Blaze also slept in.
Yeah, I just read the messages. Apparently he didn't hear the alarm, and yeah, I don't want to say anything about that because there would be things I would regret.
I hope for the last stint we will have more drivers than that, but for now I can at least already fill out the gaps for these 3 drivers. I think we have to even we might need to extend this gaps here because it's just too little space here. Let's see what I can do.
The start is on the way. Looks a bit weird for me. J.R. Kipei was in first position, but now he's positioned right in third. It's a little bug of the game.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. This also it also happens that the other drivers then start accelerating way earlier than they usually do. It's just one of these odd quirks of Gran Turismo 7. Anyway, Killer Affe has now gone into the lead, has overtaken Ken, with Junior behind him, then P0 and Jonas in P5 with the absolutely stunning livery of the Mercedes AMG. Which library is this again?
The Bildstein library from the Bildstein team. There was, I think, he copied that, or every team member copied that, and they agreed how to place the Don decal and the number plates, etc. And I saw that car in real life. That looked unreal, really like out of a comic book.
Yeah, now that's a pretty smart thing to do.
But also, that smart and Don runs hand in hand. Or DLL for that matter. Anyways, I think it's a great car. I had the chance in the paddock after the race to see that car was 2 meters away from me, and even this close it looks like it's not real, not a real life car. It's a really well made with simple effect.
Okay, that's great to hear.
Confi,
Yes.
what do you think about a prediction for this stint if it will rain? Start that on the PC.
If it would rain, it would be quite special. I hope that we will see some rain, because I think that's the only thing that would make this a bit exciting here. Because I'm sorry, with 5 drivers, of course we can continue, and we can't let the people down who are consistent and who are able to arrive in time. But of course, a race of only 5 drivers for 3 hours. Yeah, it's a bit boring.
I had already twice of them. Now that's the third, and later in the evening, Formula 1 is the fourth procession I'm going to watch. I'm really questioning my life choices right now. Are you excited about the Singapore race, or are you nervous about how Ferrari is going to fuck it up?
I'm a bit nervous, yes, of course. But I hope that they will not fuck it up.
I have my fingers crossed.
For that matter, I really don't care who wins, if it is Ferrari or if it is Mercedes or if it is Aston Martin. I really don't care that much. I just hope Red Bull doesn't win.
Yeah. KP is directly behind Ken. Now they're out of Bergwerk, and it's a long straight ahead flat out section. So maybe the Brit can overtake. Is looking around the outside, doesn't find a way, and is pushed himself, I think, on the grass there.
Yeah, overtaking that section is pretty difficult, and Jonas finds a way to get past Junior, but only by taking grass as well. Luckily for Junior, no damage, and he can continue on. I also like is it the Spider-Man logo on the front?
Yep. They have the Tobey Maguire, the Andrew Garfield in the early 2010s, and the Tom Holland now, and that's from the Andrew Garfield series. So a bit older, but I think it really works well, especially on the roof.
Yeah, indeed, it does really look good. Okay.
Now Jonas and Ken are really close together. I'm curious, I didn't test the Mercedes Evo really much around this track. It is better in corners, but it lacks top speed. So an overtake, even with slipstream, could be difficult for Jonas.
Yes, that's true. Nevertheless, they need to try.
Yeah.
At the latest point, they need to try it on the Dottinger Höhe.
Yeah, they're approaching Plantsgarten 1 and 2 now. Important just to stay close to the driver in front of you, and then prepare yourself on the straight. It's important not to overtake too early, because then you give the other drivers the slipstream, and you get re-overtaken. So it can happen that Jonas maybe get Ken and both re-overtake him. Junior definitely really close to the rear of the Mercedes, and Jonas have to make 2 good corners to stay within the slipstream range now. I just does that. Lexus looks quicker than the Mercedes, so I think Junior will overtake first.
Out of these 3 cars, none of them are really known for good top speed, especially the Porsche isn't. And both drivers, both Jonas and Junior, are gaining time over Ken. Jonas now re-overtakes Junior. And hopefully for Junior now the gap will be shown, because his car for some reason was classified as first, even though he started third. Now over the line. And I guess we need to wait 1 more lap for the gap to be shown. P0. Sorry?
I can see the gap. Maybe you leave into the lobby main screen and come back, so maybe it updates itself.
No.
Okay. Weird.
P0 is really struggling right now with the conditions or with the car. Maybe he's also a bit tired and needs to get awake to perform better. But at the moment he really struggles here. Also takes a bit of gravel onto the track.
Yeah, I just hope he continues to stay on the track, no major accidents, and then I'm already okay with that. I wouldn't want to see 5 unscheduled pit stops. Again, just look in Stint 4.
Yeah, for Stint 4 I was sound asleep. Luckily, I needed that good night's sleep.
We'll take that this evening, because I went to bed around 8 and I thought, okay, maybe you get around 4 hours of sleep then. Oh, Jonas spun. Hatzenbach. I think Junior already got a bit wider than he wanted to, but Jonas did even go further than him and then spun on the gravel. And that's, I'm afraid, the first pit stop we see.
We look at the replay, and yes, Jonas just went a bit too wide and lost the car. That's how he lost these positions. Now he has front bumper damage. This, of course, isn't ideal, and will cost him quite a bit of top speed. It won't cost him that much lap time if he keeps it together. But of course, the power loss, the straight line speed loss is it will be very noticeable.
Yeah, if you want to be mean, you could say the Mercedes has no top speed to begin with, so it won't be much of a difference. But yeah, I think it will be somewhat in the low 250s, and the others will reach mid 260s. That will hurt. He's driving with Stefan Belloff helmet, by the way, Jonas here. Stefan Belloff, German racing driver who died, I think 1984 in Spa has a corner combination named after him at the end of the lap. Nice to see that Jonas pays his tribute to that driver.
I think it was 1985 because I can remember him driving in 1984 in the Monaco GP where he finished third. That is before he got qualified for the whole season because Tyrrell were naughty. That's a bit of history, but if I remember correctly, then Tyrrell did some trick with adding water containers to the car to make it heavier. And before the start or during the race, they got rid of them, got rid of the water, and the car got lighter and faster, of course.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, they added water as a ballast, and they used that for cooling, and they got rid of the water. And in Parc Fermé, you were allowed to put liquids into the car for cooling. So they put that water back in to reach the minimum weight, and after some races, they discovered that. And I wasn't sure about the penalty, but you said they were disqualified for the whole season.
Yes. I think they were. Could be iffy knowledge, but as far as I'm concerned, I think they were disqualified from the season. Well, yes, Wikipedia says it's a DQ.
Okay, I trust Wikipedia on this one.
They would have finished in 8th position in the championship because they had 14 points. And yeah, Brundle and Beloff were also disqualified from the races. Also Stefan Johansson, who drove the Tyrrell as well. And the last 3 races they didn't even take part.
Fortunately, the gaps have disappeared for me as well, so I have no idea how much in front Killer Apple is. But it looks like he's creating a great gap to Junior in 2nd position.
Yeah, I believe it's because Junior is still in this strange mix of starting first and not being recorded correctly, and this will be solved in lap 3. So
Okay.
once he begins lap 3, the gaps will be correct again.
Okay, Conte, I will be gone for a couple of minutes, but we'll return later.
Yeah, no worries. It will be interesting to see what Jonas will do, because he has damage, and if he continues on, then I think he will be on a different strategy. My teammate is still sleeping. Oh no, King Rowan, that's unfortunate. But hopefully you are available again the last stint. It's just, to be fair, it's really one thing that I do not understand, because if you have a stint plan, if you are going to race in an event and you know the stint times, then you would make sure that you are available at these times. Okay, Jonas pits, like Charles predicted. It will be interesting to see if he repairs the damage. if he changes tires, if he refuels. Yeah, refuel he will probably do, but will he change tires? Yes. That's a good idea, because the first tire set is always a bit iffy. It's always a bit difficult, that one, because it if the stats are still correct, you are starting with the first tire set hotter than with the other tire sets. I think you start with 90 degrees Celsius with the first tire set, and as soon as you go for the second one will be heated up to 85 degrees Celsius. This is a big difference, because you need to warm up the tire a little bit after the first pit stop, but the tire should last longer. Yeah, I also saw it now in the Discord chat. They are sleeping, and yeah, I would like to have a statement from Pegasus as well, but everybody's offline there. Unfortunate, really. Yeah, well, it is how it is. We are now 5 people. Hopefully we will not have any disconnects. I also shortly need to write the message in race info as well. Better inform as soon as possible. Okay, let's go through the guys again. We have Killeraffe in P1, already driving an 8:07.2, which is a pretty good lap time. I wasn't able to be a lot faster than him, and I think he also did 8:04. But you also need to say that this 8:04 was with a 4-lap stint, and not with a 5-lap or even 6-lap stint. Anyway, 8:07 is a very good lap time. Then we have Junior in P2, 18 seconds behind Killeraffe. Then we have Ken Stumich, 27 seconds behind Killeraffe. Another 6 seconds apart is P0, who collected a half-second penalty. And then we have Jonas, who has already pitted and who will try to close the gap to P0 again. Can hit it, finish it cleanly, says GT Icke. Yeah, it's a hope for all that they won't have a lot of incidents. At the moment we have the gaps already separated a bit, and if we look at the quick result, at the moment, we have GTA with Ken Stumich in front of PTE, who is still trying to gain time over GTA. The gap is 4 minutes, so still everything could happen, especially if Killer Off continues to be that strong. Then he could bite off a lot of the gap that they have now. Then we have Weltman Motorsports, who is in P3, but unfortunately they can't drive in this stint. And if Junior doesn't make too many mistakes, and if he can keep the car on the track, then he will if he keeps the car on the track, then he will overtake Weltman Motorsports. Then we have P0, who also has Then we have P0, who also has the chance to overtake the team in front of him, which is P0 is driving, but they could come closer to Tornado if they have a really good stint. If P0 can keep it under the 3 minutes or so, then it will be possible to... If you can keep it under these 3 minutes, then it will be possible to maybe overtake Weltman Motorsports. Because Weltman will lose about 9 minutes because they have given the info now. A bit late, but they have given the info. I can adapt it now. Unintentional DNS without info. No, it's yeah, let's say it's with info. Then we go to the gaps again. No, go to the quick result again. We change it from 18 minutes to 9 minutes. Right. Let's look through the field again. We have Killer Affe. Wow, this tire wear is just, it's brutal. I don't know if he can even do 5 lap stints if he continues like that. And I think he needs to go for 3 lap stints. At least 2 of them if he can go for 22 laps. Junior 30 seconds behind. Fuel looks much better. Tires look much better. He can probably do a 5 lap stint. If you look at Ken, yeah, for Ken it will be difficult. He will also be on a 4 lap strategy. Tires look on the same level. They don't really look much worse than for Junior. But fuel looks worse, and he will need to go into the pits in this lap. Then P0, yeah, also difficult. Maybe it's a 4 lap stint. If he wants to do a 5 lap stint, he will need to be very careful with the fuel. Tire wear doesn't look too good compared to Junior. Junior is faster and has less wear and less fuel consumption. So an improvement in every area. Then we have Jonas with the very thirsty Mercedes. Tires look good for him. Hopefully he can finish a lap without getting damage. We all want to see how fast these drivers are. And we wish damage to absolutely nobody, especially if we're only 5 drivers here. Then at least those 5 really need to keep it. Green Hell driver has left the server. Yeah, that's great. Unfortunately, we don't have... Yeah, maybe we have some gaps here that are dwindling a bit, that are shrinking down. We can see between Junior and Ken that the gap is 4 seconds. And it's switching around a bit. Now in this section, Ken has lost a lot of time, or Junior has won a lot of time. Also, gap from Ken to P0 is only 6 seconds. Maybe something will happen there as well. But I believe both drivers need to go into the pits. P0 needs to refuel a little bit less. Not by much, but it's a bit. It's maybe 1 second less in the pits. It's maybe also... At max, it's 2 seconds less in the pits. Hello, Summer. Nice that you also are looking in the stream. Unfortunately, we only have 5 drivers at the moment. Hopefully, it won't be less during the stint. I hope we don't have any disconnects. Unfortunately, we also had 2 stints where a disconnect happened, and I mean the lobby host disconnected, and then we had to recollect all times. For the first stint we were able to restart it again, and for the second stint it was just a little bit over 30 minutes left, and we decided to not go for another stint. Because 30 minutes is just too little. Would have been a 4-lap race. And I don't think it would have helped anybody. I'm sorry, the stream of course is a bit boring because of so little drivers and so little action. Maybe we can look in the cockpit for a bit as a co-driver of P0. Whereas I will now look for the track map. through to the kleine Karussell. And then we come to Galgenkopf. This long right-hander consisting of many different radii. And on to the Dottinger Höhe.
I confirm I'm back, and Killer is in the pit lane.
Yes, I saw that. Let's look at him. His lap times were pretty consistent and good. It was 8:07s 2 times in a row. And now by going to the pits he had an 8:28. Of course, tire change because the tires looked absolutely shot, and I think he will refuel to the brim. Anyway, I'm not sure if he can even do a 5-lap stint. Maybe he has to go for 2-3 lap stints.
Yeah, that was the preferred strategy from the team in the previous stints as well. So I expect him to do the similar thing.
All right. Now we have a junior in the lead. He has gone through the Mercedes Arena and now approaches the Ford Kurve. It's always nice to see that the circuit has names for every corner.
Yeah, I like that so much more. That gives the track, the corner personality. It's so much better to name everything turn 6 or turn 8. I think it is hard to remember as well which corner is which. Again, for example, Formula 1 in Singapore, they have around 20 corners there, and they say, okay, we need to find time in corner 9, in turn 9, and you don't even know which corner it is, and you have to go through the map and think about, does this kink now count as a corner or not? But if you say the fourth corner, you always know which corner that is.
Yes, that's true. But I also saw for a lot of cars and for a lot of Formula 1 cars as well that they have the track map within the cockpit.
Yeah, probably the driver won't get confused otherwise.
Yeah, and if he doesn't know which turn a corner, which corner it is, then he can look at the track map and then he can adapt.
Yeah, usually I think they only work in numbers, like turn 20 or something like that. I'm not sure how that's the real 24-hour racing teams are doing this, because I'm not sure, but I think it's pretty much exactly 180 corners, 183 corners here overall. So to say, you have to find time in corner 150 would be quite difficult to remember.
Yeah, as we learned before, the corner count does always differ. For every time you count the corners on this track, one says 180 corners and others say it's just 83 or 73 even, at least on the Nordschleife alone. And I think it was about 87 or so if you combine it with the GP circuit, which I personally find a bit bullshit, because there are clearly more corners than these 80.
Yeah, there are many bends. In a way they are not corners, but the track is turning a bit, so I think there are many ways to count the track, and that's why I prefer names as well.
Yes, exactly. It's like corner 2 in on the Nürburgring. Some do count it and some do not count it, and then you have sometimes the Nürburgring named with 9 corners, and somehow you have on other occasions you have 10 corners. Especially for MotoGP, they counted the left kink before the Remuskurve. They always counted this as a corner, and Formula One didn't until they decided to adapt the MotoGP counting and say it's corner 2.
Funnily enough, Suzuka, we're going to drive there as well. Suzuka has many corner names: Estes, Dunlop, Degnam, Boone, something like that. But do you know that the name of the first corner?
No, I do not know.
It's literally first corner, first turn.
Very creative.
That's the name of the corner.
Yeah, what's so special? What's so special about the corner? Yeah, it's the first. It's the first on this track.
Exactly.
Great.
No, but I'm looking really forward to that as well. I saw a shared replay, I think of Nürburgring it was, of you Group 3 RC series driving there with day and night and rain, and yeah, really looking forward to have that in our endurance race too.
Yeah, exactly, and it can also rain in this on this track. So we also have to prepare for rain if it needs to. If we look at position 3, 4 and 5, we see that Ken, P0 and Jonas are very close together.
P0 with the 1 second time penalty. Most likely he will be the last of the 3 when they're across the start finish line again. Seppi finds magic way through Ken. Now we have many very fluent corner. One leads directly into the other, and it's very challenging to find way past. But maybe he got a better exit now.
Yeah, but you still need to be very confident that very sure of yourself to do an overtake in this section.
I wouldn't advise. If it goes wrong, you're not only ruining your own race, but the race of the other person as well.
And you are risking a penalty if it gets reported.
Yeah, especially... Oh, it goes wide.
Yeah, luckily no damage, he just lost the position to Jonas.
Yeah, I want to say that because of the time penalty, it was very likely that if he would have overtaken, he would have lost the position anyway, so it's simply not worth the risk.
Yes, of course. Actually, I'm excited for AMG if they are revealing a new GT3 car, because they have now an updated version of the Mercedes GT, or maybe it's an SL GT. I don't know. It's at least it's on the same basis as the SL car, and yeah, I hope they also do another GT version of it, because yeah, the old AMG is now pretty old, so it won't last that long anymore.
Yeah, the base model is from 2016. That's already 7 years old, and I'm not sure if they have only one Evo step or even a second one. But yeah, as you said, the base model is quite old. That's correct.
Yeah, I hope they can make another GT version of it, because Yeah, Audi won't do another R8 because the R8 won't be built anymore, and also Audi had the decision to pull out of customer sports at all, in its entirety. And I'm not sure if we will see Audi cars in 2024, and if we see them, it will be private entries.
Yeah, that's really sad. On the one hand side, I'm happy that they decided to go Formula One, but at the cost of GT racing, which I think is so deep in history, is so founded, is close to the fans. That's just so much more worth than running two cars in Formula One.
Yeah, obviously that's debatable for Audi, and there are other manufacturers like Ferrari and Mercedes who are probably not as rich as Audi, or are not selling as many cars as Audi does, and they are still competing in F1. They are still having a customer program for the GT3 class. Ferrari also introduced a new GT3 with the 296 this year. They also built the LMH car this year, and it's surely possible to participate in many different categories.
Yeah.
So I don't know why Audi decided to kill their customer program. It's really sad.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the Ferrari hypercar program born out of the Formula One cost cap? Because Ferrari said, okay, we have this money, this investment, we have these people, let's put them to good use in a different way and use them for the LMH project. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I don't know if these two. I think these two are interconnected with each other, but you wouldn't take part in the series if the rule set wouldn't be interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And the LMH class is considerably cheaper than the LMP class was, because from what I've heard from Audi and Toyota and Porsche, they were having about the same. They had the same costs for these many races as in Formula One for the whole season, or at least on the very similar level. So you can decide for yourself which one is more worth your time. But with the LMH program, the costs, of course, significantly are lower. You have more ways to build a good car. You can use bigger engines, and you only have one, or maybe you also have two different aero specs. So it's all done to save costs.
Yeah.
And now I think that a combined LMH program with Formula One program costs about the same as a whole Formula One season or a whole LMP season back then in 2019 or 2020. So the double program is pretty useful. But it's just Ferrari which is doing this, because we can't see the same with Mercedes, for example. And Alpine had a program even before they entered Formula One with Renault.
Yeah. Alpine is going to join the hyperclass for next year. I think in the Castellet and in Monza they had test runs with their car. Rumor has it that Mick Schumacher is going to drive for them, because he's not going to get to drive in F1 next year. So maybe we see him in WEC next year.
Yeah, this could be interesting because I would have also loved to see Mick Schumacher in the LMH class, especially in the Ferrari. But obviously, the career was killed with Haas and with Steiner. And so he joined Mercedes, and Mercedes doesn't have such a program. It's reported that he's a very good simulator driver and can help out quite a lot with the setup, but of course he's not driving, so that's for a race car driver it's not a good situation if he can't drive, even if he is useful for the team, but a race driver wants to drive races, and if he can't do that he will look for options elsewhere.
Yeah, and I think every other single-seater series would be a step down, and something like DTM would definitely like 2 steps down. So driving WEC would, I think, really help him, especially if he lands in a good team. Alpine is obviously a big question mark. We don't know how competitive they're going to be. But he can build on that, and he's still linked with a Formula One team, which is always a thing he wants to have him in the back pocket.
Yes, and we know that you can have double jobs. You can drive in a DTM and also drive in Formula E at the same time, or a lot of endurance drivers also drive in a second series like Formula E or again DTM or another GT3 series. So they are always driving somewhere. And if you only have 6 races a season, then you also have time to do another job.
Yeah. I'm curious. Verstappen wants to do Le Mans again. Vettel is interested in that race. And I really enjoyed that Hülkenberg and Alonso did the race as active drivers. And I would like to see more doing that, because Le Mans is an incredible race. Unfortunately, Nürburgring internationally doesn't have the same reputation, which I think is a bit unfair. But it would be a win-win situation, I think, for both sides.
Yeah, sure. But at least next year with the ever-growing LMH class and the newly formed LM GT3 class, we will hopefully see more variation in the field and also quite a full field, because from what I've heard, they only want to drive with these 2 categories. The LMP2 category will be dissolved, or will only race in a few selected races. Huh?
Killed off is the better word. They have only a certain number of spots on the grid, and they prioritize LMH. So they have so many LMH cars that the LMP2 field has to get smaller in a way that they could maybe afford only a handful of cars at best. And so they said, we're going to kill off that category completely and drive only with 2 categories. For us, for our series, it's actually better because we're closer to emulate the real deal. For the LMP2 teams, that's quite horrible because they cannot drive in WC anymore and have to rely on European Le Mans series, for example.
Yeah, European Le Mans, or is, I think, also in the ALMS, in the American Le Mans series, or in the IMSA series, they could also participate.
Yes.
But of course, if you have only 2 series which are less relevant and 1 series they're going to kill it off, then of course it's difficult.
Jonas in P5 was just in the pit lane. He was in 3rd position before. Now a bit out of sync with the other drivers. He's back on track.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, continue, please.
Yeah, that's correct. Jonas is on the different strategy. If he can do 22 laps and if he can go 4 laps each, then yeah, it's just in a different rhythm. And then we will see them close in the end of the race again, hopefully. With Junior, who is driving a different strategy, because he's going for 5 lap stints instead of 4 of most others. So he will probably have 1 pit stop less than the others. For Kelleraffe, it won't be relevant because he's much faster than the rest. But for P0 and Ken, yeah, they will need to wait for about 2 more hours to see how the strategy goes out for them.
Happy to see that with Junior we have different strategy in the mix, so we get some excitement over that in the long run, not knowing how this is going to play out. I do think both strategies are very close to each other. A 5-lapper is a bit slower, of course. Yes, you have more tire degradation, more weight, maybe potentially fuel saving. You said Lexus isn't that big of a problem, but at the end it's 1 pit stop over 3 hours, so it's not too big of a difference. But it makes a difference in where you are on track. So right now, Junior has free air in front of him, and P0 and Kensumich are somewhat close together. So if they run into each other, they can hold up each other, and that helps Junior.
Yes, of course. Also, Junior now with a bit fresher tires should be able to drive a bit faster. But if you look at the lap times, 80, yeah, it should be possible to drive a bit faster because Ken is with 8:14, P0 is in 8:14, and Junior did drive an 8:11 in the last lap, in the second lap. So he has the potential. Oh, now he has made a mistake. He has damage. Went a bit too hot into the corner and damaged his car, while he was on the personal best. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that ruins the strategy. Either he continues for 2.5 laps with that damage that would slow him down, or he takes the additional pit stop now and is closer to the rhythm of the other drivers now.
Yeah, that's a possibility, because if he does 5 lap stints anyways, then he could pit in this lap, and if he comes into lap 22, it will be enough for him. But anyway, he's still improving on his lap time. Maybe the damage isn't that high. Of course, he loses now out on the straights. Damage costs him dearly on the straights. And now he's 1 second apart. Yeah, so time loss on the straights is pretty big. Meanwhile, Kelleraffe in first position has no such problems. Very consistent lap times. He did another 8:07 in lap 6. And now he's 1.4 seconds off his best time, but that's still an 8:08. He is looking for. What can you say about the next race we will drive in Interlagos, the WC race?
To be honest, not much really, because the preparation we're always for Nürburgring at the moment, and yesterday. Last week it was our race. A lot of effort went into this. Then hosting, organizing the second lobby now, and I did little to no preparation for Sao Paulo. It is 6-hour race, so it's more of a sprint race for our standards. What I've learned, it's counterclockwise first, so it's going more into the left corners. So it's a different task for your body to deal with forces. I have my setup quite high, so you feel that. I have to get used to that. And apart from that, I think it will be quite challenging. First, you need to find the right setup. In sector 1 and 3, you want basically a monster setup, no downforce, just straight line speed. Sector 2 is the opposite. You want something like Monaco, where you have all the downforce in the world, and then have to find the right middle way between those two. Lap time wise, we saw in Road Atlanta a huge difference in performance from hypercars to the Group 3s. I think for Sao Paulo there will be a bit more closer, so that means also that it's going to be more difficult for a hypercar to overtake a GT. Then in general, Brazil is a fun track. I like it. It's short. That's really you get easily into the rhythm, I feel, and overtaking is possible. I really like that you can attack, but also counter attack. And then in the middle sector, it's a bit like go-kart, really tight, but also fun. The curbs are wide enough and flat. You can attack them mostly, but you have to be cautious behind for the AstroTurf. And in general, quite a flowing track. Nothing like stop and go, really, where you have to wait for the car to turn forever. It flows mostly nicely, and that's really, I think, a nice addition to the calendar. Looking forward after that is Suzuka. We spoke about that. That's one of the 3 best tracks I think there is in the world. And Daytona, after that, I'm really curious about that, having a 24-hour race there. Looking forward for that as well. So basically, just bangers left in the calendar, in my opinion.
I will go to the comments for a bit. We have seen a fan favorite saying good morning. Yeah, good morning to you too. And then we have also seen Mr. Freezy, who is asking himself why there are only five cars. And he's saying giving up should not be an option. And yeah, at least I can say that these drivers haven't given up here. It's just that the RX driver was sick, so he said he can't drive. Then the Beltman Motorsport cars, the Beltman Motorsport car can't drive because the driver was sleeping. And I think it's the same for Pegasus. All 3 drivers did take part in the previous. All 3 teams did take part in the previous stint, so they're still in the race. They just didn't appear to the stint, and we had to start at one point. So yeah, that's the thing. And D Road writes, "Welcome, mate. Just being an engineer for Jason." And yeah, I think if you say Jason, I guess you are talking about Junior or JRKP. I don't know how to say it. I have heard Junior being said in the previous stint, so I kept it and say Junior. About Interlagos, I'm really curious to drive on this track, because it's always known for having very little gaps, very close gaps, and I think it will be a very exciting race with a very competitive field. and with many cars that are on the same level. As for
I do. We have many cars.
yeah, I do hope that as well. But we have as I maybe already said, we have a selection of 13 different GT cars that are bopped manually and not by the game, which means they should be much closer together than it is with the GT BOP, which is one BOP for every track.
Yeah, of course. I think on the one hand side, it's quite a lot of work that goes into, and I hope it finds the recognition it deserves. But then on the other hand, this track really shows how much difference there is in fuel consumption, but also in top speed, and equal the playing field with the custom BP we have, that you put so much work for that really helps to improve racing and bring everything closer together, make it more fair for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, you can't do the perfect BOP. That's impossible. But I think in the last 4 races we had, the field was very close together, and we had many different cars fighting for the win of the race. For example, in Monza we had the Lexus winning. On the Nürburgring we had the Porsche of DLL winning. At the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the RRC Ferrari did win. Then again, the 10 Hours of Petit Le Mans, we had the Lexus again from WSR winning the event. But we have also seen a Corvette on the podium. We have seen a Mercedes on the podium. If I'm not mistaken, we have also...
For sure, we have seen a McLaren somewhere on the podium.
A McLaren, an Aston Martin. Yeah, just so many different manufacturers in the mix, and all of them equally strong, or at least on a very similar level, without having a 15 kph top speed difference, and without having much more tire wear or much more cornering speed than the others.
Yeah, the field is just more closer together in every area. Cornering, sometimes there are differences, then you have differences in acceleration, etc. But top speed is quite an unfair advantage that is really close together. And of course, the cars have their characteristics. That's okay. But the overall performance is so much more close together than PD with the employees can do it, which is kind of a joke itself. But yeah, you're doing a better job than PD. I know for some that doesn't sound like much, but it really pays out. And the BOP, I think that's the biggest compliment one can give you for the BOP. No one is talking about that in a negative way. No one is saying, I didn't win because the BOP or something. Everyone has the feeling it is fair.
Yeah, most of the times I think in Monza I got the comment from Nuschel that he said that the Mercedes is a bit slow on this track, whereas I did a good lap in practice, and I thought, yeah, it is in the field of the others. It can compete with them. But maybe it's also a bit of the case of Nuschel being sick at this event and not being too competitive at Monza. Yeah, anyway. And for the other events, we also heard sometimes about the fuel consumption being in favor of some cars, especially Lexus and Ferrari, which are quite good on fuel. But it's also a bit of a driver thing to adapt your fuel consumption, and maybe also adapt a gearbox to accommodate consuming less fuel, because there are ways how to conserve fuel and how to get longer stints. This is also with the setup, and of course because we have sorry, I'm a bit lost for words, but because we have a custom BOP, we have to allow setups because there's no other way with the GT lobbies. And you
all
can
in all, I think that enables driver to bring in their what they already know, or brings up opportunity to learn more about cars and set up the car to their liking, and opening the window for setups ultimately brings them still closer together, because one car is maybe even with similar values in all the areas, traction, braking, cornering, top speed, over the long run a bit behind, but with a tweaking setup you can bring it into the right window.
Yeah, exactly. And I already thought if you can adapt the lap times very close to each other, then you will also be able to consume the same fuel and to adapt the car to your liking, that it can perform in a very similar window to the other cars. And that's why I'm looking to have top speeds very close, to have weight very close, to have lap times within 2/10 or so. And especially for Nürburgring and Le Mans, I really didn't hear many complaints. I only heard complaints with Monza and also a bit in Petit Le Mans because of the fuel consumption of the Ferrari and the Lexus. Maybe I have to adapt these cars a bit slower, maybe 1% less power to make them a bit slower, but then also to extract even more of the fuel strategy. But we'll need to see. I will come to the BOP next week, and I hope I can at least finish a first draft before the registration period opens, and then hopefully close it when the registration closes.
Yeah, I think the qualifying is set for the first weekend of October, which is the 5th, I think, and race is set for the weekend after that, on the second weekend of October, which must be the 12th.
Yeah, I think it's 7th October and 14th October.
Okay. Maybe I'm already thinking about next year's calendar. There, it's the 5th.
Yeah, of course, we also need to think about the calendar of next year. We haven't announced anything yet, but we are in discussions, we are in talks, and as soon as we have new information, we will give it to you guys.
Yeah, I would say we're make quite the advances from the first draft, and I think we aren't too far from agreeing on one simple on one version. There are quite some difference, but yeah, some things we need still to agree on. Obviously, now with the 24-hour races, a lot of other things have been going on. Hopefully, next week will be a bit more quiet, so we can focus on things like that.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think we should look to the field for now. We have PTE Killer in the lead with a gap of over 1 minute to Ken Stumich in the Porsche 911. Very good sounding car, although I think it's a bit overrated. I especially think the car is overrated because it gets chosen that often, and I really can't see why. Because for Yeah, it is a well-behaved MR car, but it's just, what should I say? It's a worse version of the McLaren. It's a worse version of the McLaren 650.
I think it's a bit of a combination that it's a good handling car, and Porsche is very popular. And then you see maybe some drivers using that for the daily races, and then many people hop on, look, okay, what are the other guys driving Porsche? Okay, I'm doing the same thing, and not really trying to find a car for themselves that could work better.
Yeah, I can understand it's a go-to choice because it's well behaved, but for me it's really boring to drive, and it's also difficult to extract the maximum performance out of it because you really need to rev the car to the maximum to get fast with it. Then we have a P0 in the Lexus, also a car that I don't really like to drive because it's too front heavy and because it has an unstable, unpredictable rear. Maybe it's a bit better with the standard setup, but with the setup I'm driving, it's really a knife edge, this car. Then we have the Mercedes AMG of Jonas. Also a car which is chosen pretty often. And at least with that car I can understand why, because it is front engined, but it has the weight distribution of an MR car.
Yeah, agree. For an FR car, it's one of the most oversteery. But in a way, I think which is good, which is easily controllable still. So even a pleb like me that loves understeer can deal with that, and that says something. On the same time, yeah, nice handling, good in corners, lacks a bit of top speed, but overall, usually always a decent pick for any track.
Yes, exactly. And then we also have another Lexus of Junior. As with the Mercedes, there are two versions of the Lexus. One is the 2017 version, which always gets chosen, and the other one is the 2016 prototype version. I think the 2017 car is the much better one because it has the same power, it has the same stats as the 2016 car. Maybe a bit slower in corners in general, because I think the prototype is better in corners, but the prototype is the exact opposite fuel-wise as the 2017 version. The 2016 version is very bad on fuel, and I think you can barely drive 4 laps on this circuit with the 2016 version, whereas with the 2017 version you can easily go 5 laps.
I wouldn't know. I've tested the Lexus, and after maybe 2 laps, I decided, okay, that car is not for me on this track, and didn't even bother with the previous year model. So can't really comment on that.
Yeah, obviously, for most cars that have a new model, that's, for example, with the Mercedes AMG, that's with the Lexus, that's with the Audi R8. Usually the old model gets obsolete once the new model arrives.
Yep, that's correct. Also for the Nissan, it was the other way around. First, the car was introduced in the 2013. Original model was better. And I know since 2 updates now, they switched it, so the 2018 model is the stronger pick.
I think from the car stats, it's still the 2013 version, which has the better stats. But I guess the 2018 variant is a bit more drivable than the 2013 one. And Also, only because the car has better stats doesn't really mean that it's faster overall. But maybe also now the daughters kick in. Oh yeah, we have a new GTR. Probably this one is better as well, so we take the new one. I haven't seen the 13 version used that often.
Yeah, it was quite popular in Gran Turismo Sport, but that faded a bit away in my opinion.
Yeah, Nissan was very popular in GT Sport because it was a car that had a great top speed, but also very good handling in fast corners. That's why it was often used for Suzuka or for other tracks with many high-speed corners. But also, it was also good to use for the Nürburgring. But it was very bad to use once the track had many mechanical slow corners. This isn't an area where the GTR is good. And I think the 2018 version is a bit better in this regard. It is a bit better in slow corners.
Yeah, I think the weight is a bit better, or even at least better distributed. So yeah, has advantages there.
Drunken Panda asks, only 5 people. Yeah, we explained it a few times, but unfortunately there were 2 teams where no driver could have been contacted. I think they were sleeping, and the RX3 team did say they can't drive in this stint because the driver which should drive in this stint has gotten fever and is lying in bed with high temperatures.
Could you please go to P3-4? P0 Soft had a mistake in Arenberg and lost a bit of momentum. Ken is now almost 6 seconds ahead, and Jonas is right behind him. So we maybe have an interesting battle going on here.
Considering that the field only consists of 5 drivers, we see a pretty good race here.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, the guys are pretty close together, all with Ken, Junior, Jonas, P0, all together within a few seconds.
Unfortunately, Kilaf didn't get the memo.
Yeah, unfortunately, but in the long run, this could be a good thing because Kilraffe is only 4 minutes behind GTA, and if he can, of course, snap off a bit of the gap, it would help it for the last stint.
Yeah.
But it's a very civilized drive at the moment. We don't see many mistakes here, not a lot of damage. Jonas goes a bit wide here, has taken a bit of grass.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Guys, stop fucking up when we talk about you, please. Yeah, now Jonas lost even more time, and Junior is now within a second. With his personal best lap, an 8:11.7 in the previous one. And now looking to close the gap to Jonas. But the Lexus very slow on the straights. Actually, for last week I was surprised to see so many different cars, also for qualifying. We saw a Lamborghini Huracan taking part, and I'm not sure why they have chosen this car, but the Huracan burns his tires within 3 laps, so it wasn't an option for me at all. We have seen the BRZ being used twice, also a car that I expected to be good on this track, but difficult to drive due to being a flat circuit car and not really a car that is used for the Nürburgring race. Then we saw the McLaren 650S, which was a very good all-around talent, pretty fast, good with tires, good on fuel. We have also seen the Toyota FT1 being used by DLL. We have seen the Toyota Supra GT500 being used by RRC. And yeah, it was just a very interesting field. What from which cars did surprise you the most from the registrations?
To be honest, your car with the old Supra 500. I was genuinely surprised to see that. I wouldn't have thought that this would have been picked. Other than that, yeah, well, as you said, a nice mix. I wouldn't say there wasn't any unexpected. The BRZ, I think we haven't seen much of the BRZ before. The car was quite good. I think with the FT1 that we drove, that was the first time, at least for our races in GT7. But yeah, with the GT500 that you drove, I hadn't thought that anyone would pick that. That wasn't on my list.
Yeah, the Supra was confirmed to be used about half a year ago already, because Duschel wanted to drive this car very badly, and we agreed with him to choose this car. I think it was our clown choice this year, our most controversial clown choice this year. And yeah, I didn't get to grips with the car. Neither she did get to grips with the car. I think the only one happy to drive it was, to be fair, Nuschel. And I'm happy that he had his fun. I didn't. And I hope that I can drive a car which suits me more in the next race.
Yeah, Flipsy really wants to drive the BMW Z4. That's his meme car. And he's trying that, I think, for 2 years now. Oh, come on, let's use the meme car. Let's use the BMW Z4. The car is so horrible. It's going to be fun. And I want to say, no, shut up. We drive a car that is competitive. And he doesn't like it really, but maybe he gets his pick this time.
Yeah, he said he wanted to have a more relaxed approach for the next races. So if he chooses that car, I would be glad about it, because more diversity is always good. I'm also thinking about maybe using a car that wasn't used very often and is not used that often, but I need to see with which teammate I will drive. I hope to drive my brother again, but yeah, we'll see. To be honest, I'm taking the Group 3 series races a bit less serious than the WC races, because in the WC races we have a very close field, and I'm using the Ferrari all season, which is pretty good in the standings right now, so I want to finish the season with the Ferrari in a very positive way. And for the Group 3 series, I'm not against using a clown choice car for the Suzuka race, but yeah, let's see. I need to talk with my brother, and maybe if he wants to drive a more competitive machinery, then maybe I'll also drive with Masma or R-Player or whatever.
Let's see. There's quite a choice. I haven't really thought about Suzuka too much. I think 2 weeks ago, a daily race was there, and I tested some cars, but it was also with racing hardware, so it's not the full picture. But yeah, first we have Interlagos. There I will drive with the hypercar. I tested a few laps, and I don't understand why, but I'm glad that it is like it is. The hybrid doesn't get used so much. You cannot run out of hybrid. The hybrid recovers so much that you will not reach 0% during your run.
This actually makes sense to me because you have a lot of slow corners where you can use your brakes a lot to recover the energy, and you also have a lot of full throttle sections, pretty long ones. And after 250 kph, the hybrid isn't used anymore. If you have a long straight, then it will cost you less energy than if you have a short straight. And I think this is the case for Interlagos as well. You are breaking down quite a lot for the first few corners for the Senna S, and you are in corners for quite a time. Then once you're out of the corner, the hybrid might kick in, but you're already at 250 again. Then comes the next corner, slow one. Then also another corner, a slow one. A fast one where you can't use the hybrid energy. Then a short straight, another fast corner where the hybrid isn't used. And then comes the technical infield where you are braking more than accelerating and loading the energy again. And then you come to the last few corners, also not using much of the energy. So yeah, I can imagine that this is a good circuit for a hybrid car, because the hybrid doesn't run out that fast.
Yep. Yeah, it's nice not to have to worry about that for once. I would love a setting that you can change the output power or the window where the hybrid gets activated, so you can adjust it for every track. So you have a bit more freedom with that. Yeah, but bottom line is we don't have to worry about hybrid for once, and I'm enjoying that really.
D. Roden has written that we should go to second place because Junior is coming for his next victim. Yeah, we can see in P3 that Junior is closing in on P0. But it's definitely not on P2. Well, then let's look at the Spider-Man Lexus.
Yeah, nice to see that P2, 3, and 4 are around 5 seconds with the other. And with half the race to go, yeah, we don't know how those three are going to end up. Jonas has damage, I think, but he's not too far off after 1.5 hours. So, yeah, happy that we have those three so close to each other.
For Jonas getting damaged so early in his stint, that's really unfortunate, because he was on 4-lap stints and he wanted to go to lap 14 with this car, and now he has to think about maybe pitting, maybe repairing the damage. That's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, especially he wasn't too far off this group. I think maybe one more lap for them. Junior probably is going to pit now. Maybe soft, yeah, they're close to each other. No, they should do one more lap. Sorry. 10 definitely is going to do one more lap.
Yeah, it depends what strategy he will follow. If he continues to go on this strategy of 4-lap stints, then he might continue. If Jonas wants to now go for 3-lap stints or something, then he can do that as well. Or maybe he pits in lap 12 and goes for 5 lap stints. It's possible, but with the fuel consumption he has with the Mercedes, it will be very difficult. I've seen WSR in the last week trying to save fuel with the car to manage 5 laps. And Milano, for example, while he was very fast when in his zone and when pushing the car, he lost about 10 or 15 seconds a lap when he was saving fuel for 5 laps.
Yep. What's quite interesting to see, everyone went in the pit for 4 laps and they refueled like 90 liters, let's say. And Milano and the Mercedes always 100 liters. If it would have been possible, he would have taken 110 liters.
Yeah, but it's difficult to say. Maybe Milano did drive with the automatic gearbox and didn't really have a chance to shift on his own, because he was always shifting when the limiter was already reached, and I was just confused to see the ref bar blinking very nervously for seconds until he then shifted. So yeah, that's one possibility, that they drive it automatic. That's also a reason why it is so difficult for our player to save fuel, because the gearbox does it for him. And Jonas goes into the pits now, so he has changed his strategy. Probably goes for 3 laps and then another 2 times for 4 laps.
Yep, most likely.
Tires get changed. He refuels again and repairs the damage. So yeah, we'll see what he will do. Killer Affe now with the 8:05.9, the fastest lap time in this stint, which is pretty solid. It's of course not a 7:59 like it was in the last stint of the Split 1 race, but an 8:05 is still a very good time. Even if we go for Split 1, it's still a competitive time.
Yes, indeed, very, very strong. It is the fastest lap we had today. Before that, it was Paul with a mid 8:06, and last stint was low 8:07. So quickest lap we had today. And in the meantime, around Hoheneichen T0 soft done. I think he touched the grass slightly and then went around. Luckily, no damage for him, but he lost the position to Junior, and I think about 15 seconds of time.
I quite like the morning stints because it's not burning hot in the room. I can have the window open and it really cools down.
I really like from stint 4 the ending, the last hour of that, and the beginning of stint 5, where it's mostly dark, but the sun is rising up and it gets brighter every minute. I think that's quite cool. It feels also like a chapter's ending. If you look at the beginning of the 24-hour race, you have the whole thing ahead of you. Then the sunrise comes and you think, okay, I have the whole night ahead of me, and that's going to be very challenging. It's difficult to see where you are, things like that. And then the sun comes up again and you think, okay, I've done it. Some coming up. It's the next day, and you can already think about a bit about the end of the race.
Yeah, that's true. I also don't really like to drive in the night stint. I don't really have a problem with the night stints, but I have a problem to drive a night stint in the night because I'm just so freaking tired. Also, last week it was so difficult to keep up the concentration, and the last hour, especially the last 30 minutes, I was half asleep while driving, and I was hoping to keep the car on track somehow. Luckily, I did that, but it was not a great experience, and it was also not a great experience to jump in because Shishiman lost interest to drive because Slimmy wasn't available at all, and because Nushul also confirmed his stints only minutes before the deadline. So yeah, it was very difficult also with just 21 hours of being up and then drive another stint for 3 hours in the night while being so tired so it's really difficult.
Yeah, and we talked about that. You need to have your concentration level high at any point in the race. Yeah, as you described, having stayed up for so long, it's easy to lose concentration, and the barriers are very close, and then the race is in jeopardy in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, that's true. It also costs the whole team much time when you are driving in the wrong stints, but unfortunately there was no other possibility because no other driver except us two was able to drive. So Killerafa is now in the pits for the third time. I'm just impressed how much tires get used within 4 laps. Because when I was driving, my tires were about half used when I went into lap 5.
Yeah, I had them also in decent condition, where I thought technically I couldn't do a 6th lap with them. That would go as well. Fuel was a different story, but tires were okay for a 6th lap.
Yeah, the other thing is that I, especially in the last few months, I really shifted my driving style, and now I'm extremely good on tires, at least tire wear. I've really improved in that area, but it has its disadvantages right now, because especially when the temperatures are cold. And this happened in the night stint here. This happened in the Nürburgring race in April in the first stint. I just do not get the tires up to temperature, and then you have no grip with them. You need the tires to be in a specific window to work properly, and obviously my tire saving skills have reached a level where you just they have reached a level where they are too cold now in cold conditions.
Sorry for interrupting. Junior lost the position to P0 Soft. He literally ran out of fuel 100 meters before the pit entry, and that cost him more than the 10 seconds or 15 seconds that P0 was behind.
Okay, that's unfortunate, but Junior is on a different strategy anyway. If he continues like that, he will just pit once less than the others and will be 45 seconds or so in front in the end.
Yeah. Full 100 liters into it. Peter Rousseff around 90 or even less maybe. And Ken again 100. So about your driving style, did you change specific thing consciously, or did you subconsciously shifted something and realize later that this is working with tire management?
Sorry, I was eating a candy bar. Yeah, it was unconsciously that I shifted the driving style. Of course, I also watched other drivers like Comrade, who is always known for his tire saving skills. I have watched him and saw that he does a bit something different than me during driving, and that's mainly because he used the brake differently than I do. Because when I was braking, I was more or less just fully on the brakes, and I did release the brakes progressively, but not in the same level that Conrad did. And Conrad also progressively pressed on the brake pedal. And when I adapted that driving style, I saw that this did help me with the front wear. And as I'm somebody who has very little front wear anyway, and now it's even less, I can now, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know what you can say, but I can drive front engine cars a bit. Yeah, I would say the driving style is rather for an FR car than an MR car, and I prefer MR cars. It's a bit of a tricky situation, you know.
Yeah, okay, but I think when you learn something, you understand more about your driving style, about the car, and then you find a way to adapt that in a way that can profit you for MR cars as well. Of course, you're not there yet, but with better understanding, you can find a way to that.
Yeah, I can profit from it if I have a setup that I can use, and then I can adapt my driving style. I can adapt the setup to use more fronts and use less rears, and in the end I have less tire wear in general. And with the standard setup, I haven't really found a way yet to drive cars with a very rear balance. I love to drive them, but yeah, the tire wear on the rear is then just so extremely much more than on the front that it shifts the balance during the stint even to more oversteer. And there's a point where even I can't cope with so much oversteer.
Yeah, when you brake or you want to turn and the car just goes instantly, and there's little you can do to countersteer that. Or you have to countersteer it every time, and that can't be fast as well.
Yeah, and obviously the more oversteer you have, the more the rear tires get used, the more they get heated up, the more they get degradation, and the difference between the two tires gets even more extreme.
Oh, Ken in the second place, spun. No damage.
Let's see in the replay. Oh, that was a strange crash because he somehow lost it on the curb. He somehow lost it on a bump.
Yeah. Comfy, I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah. And now we have Junior only 2 seconds behind Ken. The gap now 2 seconds. Jonas is 37 seconds behind all of them. And I think it will be difficult for him to get the gap again. Junior goes wide a bit, takes a bit of grass. And Ken with another mistake. What happened here? Went into the carousel and lost it. Yeah, maybe the concentration for Ken is now at a low. Hopefully he can gain it back. Despite only 5 drivers in here driving, we somehow have a pretty exciting race considering the circumstances. And also, although Killer Affe is dominating the stint, he's still behind GTA in the overall standings. It's a 4-minute gap. If he takes 2 minutes out of it, then it will only be a 2 minutes gap, and this can be very exciting for the last stint as well. If it gets even closer, even better. But yeah, hopefully Ken can gain back his concentration, and then hopefully can come back stronger. Jonas has also gained a lot. It's 30 seconds now between Ken and Jonas. And he's on a personal best lap. Half a second faster than in his previous one. This could be an 8:14 if he continues like that. Three tenths, still better. This could be a personal best lap. Let's watch him. Whoops. Pressed the wrong button.
Yeah, great. It was 8:14.4, an improvement by 7 tenths. Hopefully you can keep that up.
You scared me now.
Sorry, but not sorry.
No problem. And he's up again by half a second in the first sector. Obviously found a good line through the chicane. I actually quite love the Nürburgring to drive. It's such a beautiful track. Also the GP circuit. It's one of my favorites in the game.
Yeah, I quite like it too. It has a nice flow to it. The first corner is quite narrow, but the rest of the track is nice flowing. It is second or third gear, not really high speed anything, but the corners around it doesn't feel like pointy. Like for example, Abu Dhabi, the chicane between the two straights where it's really so pointy, doesn't flow nice, and that's what I like about the Nürburgring GP layout. It feels like it has a good flow.
Yeah, I also think it has a good flow because most corners are of the same kind. The whole track is more or less consisting out of slow corners.
Yeah, that's true. Slow corners, but I think the good type of slow corners where you can bring in some momentum, or one corner needs nice into the others. Oh, Jonas crashing. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's always when he tries to get faster than the 814. If he pushes, he makes a mistake. That's unfortunate. Yeah, now he needs to think about change the strategy again, because if he pits now, he can return on the stop in lap 18 and then go to the end.
Yeah, I think right now that should be the priority. 1 or 2 stop is a huge difference. Yeah, I don't think it's better to do 2 stops. If you can live with the damage without losing too much time, I would favor 1 stop.
While you were away, we have seen that Ken did another mistake. It was in the carousel. He spun out and lost the position to Junior.
Yeah, probably attention had a down moment, I assume. So I hope that was a wake-up call, and can focus now for the last remaining hour.
Yeah, I hope so too. If we look to the field, we have Killeraf has damage. I think that's the first time during the race that he has damage.
Correct.
But now he can pit in this lap and go for 2 more 4-lap stints. So maybe not that. Of course, it's not good that he crashed, but it's at the moment where he can adapt his strategy.
Yeah, it could have been worse. Like for example, if he has a 4-lapper and that happens in the first lap, that's the worst moment. Right now, as you said, he can adapt his strategy, and the time loss he has can be minimized.
Yeah, absolutely. Goes wide in the corner, then to the kleine carousel. It's always a bit difficult to drive this one because the end of the at the end of the plates, it's just really difficult where you land, because the car can just jump out of nowhere and then you land in the wall.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to predict how the car is reacting. You have to be a bit cautious with the throttle input, not to lose the rear as well. And it takes always a moment before you have to trust, and to be really quick, you have to basically anticipate what's going to happen without knowing how the car is going to respond. Definitely one of the trickiest parts.
Although most Group 3 cars are set up so that they can handle such bumps, not every car is built that way, and especially for the old Supra, it was difficult to handle that. Killeraffe interestingly continues on. Maybe he has a different plan. Maybe he wants to do 1 more lap and then go for a 3-lap stop. then another 3-lap stop, and then go to the end. I don't know.
I'm not sure, quite sure why he doesn't want to pit. As you said, it would have been basically the same strategy, just shifted around the time when he of the last 4-lapper.
Yeah, as you say, it's I can't understand it either, but I believe that there is a plan to it. P0 has damage now, front and rear. Something happened here. Maybe we can look back. Oh no, you already had damage. So the accident must have happened earlier. And now both warning lights are blinking. I'm not sure if he activated the button or if he is in the pause menu.
He drove with one blinker on for quite some time. I do hope it is him driving. I guess we will see soon, because I don't think that the II can drive into the pits.
They only do that if they have no fuel.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it would do that. But considering how fast P0 went into the corners, it's him that was driving.
Yeah.
Okay, now at least he can do 4-lap stints. So the damage happened at the point where he can adapt the strategy. Same as with Killeraffe, but Killeraffe decided not to pit for some reason. Gotta say, I like the livery of... Oh no! Oh, come on.
I think I just saw that was a proper disconnect. He was behind the Billstein bridge on Döttinger Höhe, and for some reason he drove into the grass, and the camera didn't show anything else, and I was really wondering what is he doing. And then you have the Tiergarten chicane corner, and he went straight over that, but you could see no braking, no throttle input. There was a proper disconnect.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, 2 hours into the race. And 14 laps. I'm not sure about the gap. P0 has now 2 minutes 40, so I suppose 3 minutes 20.
Yeah. I think it was 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, we do not have to enter it as exact. We just have to enter it as exactly as we can. And lap time probably was around... What is it at that point? 0:20 or something?
What number are you looking into?
What? Number?
Yeah, who was something saying about 0:20?
7. I said the lap time when approaching Dottinger Höhe will be around 7:20 or something.
No, the disconnect was at the end of Dottinger Höhe, so...
Oh, even.
With his lap time, probably around 8 minutes.
Okay, then I entered 7:50.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, we have had our victim now. It's only 4 drivers again. But at least they lasted 2 hours.
Yeah, we can survive that last hour to get through there.
Now Killeraffe, I'm interested to see his strategy. I expected him to go in the lap before, but he didn't. The lap times are still okay. It's only 4 seconds behind his personal best. But especially for PTE, who is fighting for every second, for every millisecond even, this could cost them in the end. And if it's these 10 seconds or something that were lost because of not pitting, then they will be angry.
Yeah, don't tell me that. I don't understand the strategy as well. And yeah, you said it was something about three minutes. So they're making very good progress in this stint, but 10 seconds more or less is a lot and can definitely make the difference at the end.
Yeah, I can remember for the 24-hour race that we drove in Le Mans, the gap between us at RSC with the Ferrari to the Corvette of Halex in the end was 50 seconds. After 20 hours of racing, it was 50 seconds.
Yeah. So I can make a huge part, a huge year. Yeah, I think... oh, he's in the wall again. Or was that just lag on my screen?
No, he landed in the wall for me as well. But luckily he collided with the side that already had damage, so I don't think it will have any consequences for him. But I believe he needs to go into the pits again. Hopefully in this lap. And if not, then at the very latest in the next one. Okay, it's actually done 3.
He's staying out.
Okay.
That time 8:15, so pretty much 10 seconds. That's still okay, especially given the damage he has. But it's now 20 seconds that wouldn't be necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just lap time that gets lost. I won't say it's missing race intelligence, but it's missing race intelligence. I'm sorry. You would want to pit earlier because, especially in lap 14, you can calculate for 22 laps. And if you're doing 4 laps anyway, then you can... Oh, now he goes wide again. I think concentration now is on a low level for him as well.
They usually, on a GP layout, you don't see many mistakes. It's a bit easier. Well, it is easier than the Nordschleife. It has more runoff. The braking markers are usually quite clearer. Yeah, drifting a bit out. Yeah, I think concentration is a bit in a low at the moment, and he needs to catch himself again. And then for the next 50 minutes, when he's out of the pits, bring it together and bring it home.
At least Junior seems to be on a strategy where he only refuels once. He's about on 42 liters or something. He goes over the line with the 18.7. It wasn't his best lap. The best lap was 1 lap prior, which was an 8:11.6. Probably only a few thousandths of a second faster than his previous best lap, which was an 8:11.756. Yeah. Imagine you're driving an 8-minute circuit and then you have an improvement of 6/100ths of a second.
You remember the very first 12-hour race we did here? Heli Paul was third with his lap time in qualifying. Flipsy had provisional pole and I was quicker by 1/100th of a second. And I think he was happy. Some part of him was happy that the DLA car was in front, but he was fuming that he didn't got pole by literally 0.01 seconds.
Yeah, of course. Especially in such a long circuit, when you're only 1/100th of a second behind, then it bites. It really bites you. It's just annoying at that point. But to be honest, especially considering qualifying for endurance races, I really don't give that much of an effort for the qualifying. And usually I avoid qualifying as good as I can, because I'm just not a good hot lapper. And also in most races I drive, if I win them, it's most of the time I'm not from pole. So yeah, I have a much more emphasis on the race pace instead of qualifying pace, but it's also quite different to drive, because especially for us, the qualifying, you have all factors deactivated. You have the fuel factor deactivated, you have the tires deactivated, so that they are always in the perfect window. And it's just a very different fish altogether.
Yeah, it's quite a different scenario. And yeah, as it says, it's an endurance race, so the emphasis is truly on the race pace, how you deal with the tires, fuel, and how consistent you are. So that's usually my go-to strategy. I think I did qualifying for a few races in a row. Not now, but I think mostly was personal reason. I thought I wasn't the quickest driver in the team. But usually I think I'm better, or my strengths are being in the consistency than in the hot lap. So I give others the chance to step up.
Yeah, also remembering from GT Sport, you were one of those drivers who had extremely little tire wear, and for some reason they didn't did translate in a much less extent to GT7.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've changed anything. I'm not horrible on tires by any means, but it is, I think, okay, it's good, but it's nothing, something that you, or let's say comrade, like you explained earlier, can't do as well. So where I was in sport, it was strange. I still remember the first DTM race we did, and everyone was complaining, "Oh, Charles is clearly cheating with the tire wear. That can't be. The Mercedes is OP." And you just said, "No, that's him. No one understands why, but he has no tire wear."
Yeah, if you looked at the other Mercedes who drove with the exactly same stats, then it was only Charles who had less tire wear than the others. And it was consistently in most races that the tire wear for Charles was just lower. Obviously, this brings a few advantages along the way, especially more consistent lap times, and just general a wider window of strategy. And at least in GT Sport, there were only very few occasions where good tire wear was a disadvantage. Now in GT7, it's more pronounced because you have different track conditions. You have you can even have different different temperatures, which also have an influence on the tire wear and how the tire works. And it's sad that we don't see the whole data, because it would be interesting to see if the racetrack is, let's say, if it's 15 degrees Celsius out there, or if it's 30 degrees out there, because the weather looks the same, but maybe
that's a bit of a shame, because with factories you can access some information. So the information is there to begin with, but the game hard locks the player with the console to get towards that information.
Yes, which I always find a bit strange, because if you are already calculating it, why wouldn't you show it? Because for most motorsport teams, they could collect the temperature, they could collect the track temperature and data. They can collect even the tire temperature data. So it's just a bit, it's a PD thing. It's just unnecessary that we don't see it.
Did I hear correctly? Killer after finally in the pit lane, he decided to pit.
Yeah, hopefully he also decides to repair the damage.
That would be the icing of the cake. Yeah, no, I agree. We have the information, so please make that available.
Yeah, Killer now exiting the pit, and he's on the three lap strategy now, as expected. I honestly can't see why they did not pit earlier to repair the damage and go for a 4-lap stint. But yeah, they need to know for themselves.
We cannot award penalty points for bad strategy calls, can we?
No. No, we can't. Junior now with about 22 liters of fuel will finish this lap and continue on. As we said, he will only pit once, and this will be in lap 17. He comes over the line with an 8:13.4 and can reduce the gap quite a bit to 1 minute.
Yeah, given that both drivers have to pit one more time, I think that's a good change of course for Junior. Killer Affe played a big role in that as well, but it reads itself better now than it did 3 laps ago.
And also considering Spider GT, we have to give them a compliment, because they said they were taking part and they actually came to every stint. They I think they had a disconnect in stint 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And in all other stints they were there. This is one of the new teams that really makes me happy. That they have really shown passion and just a mindset that they want to go, that they want to race, no matter what the circumstances are. Even if the lobbies are unstable, even if there are disconnects from the lobby, even if there are so little people, so little teams driving, they have still decided that they want to take part, that they want to race. And yeah, that's a big compliment to you guys.
Yeah. And yeah, there's nothing really to add. course, when they arrive for the next race, you don't have to worry about them, and you already have in mind, okay, they're if they register, they're starting, they're driving no matter what, and you don't have to worry about things, and that's really what we're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we see Ken in the last position. He has pitted. He has gone for about 75 liters of fuel. He also goes for the 3-lap strategy now. Will pit in lap 19 again. And if you look at P0, he has done his personal best lap with the 8:13.6 in the last one. And he seems to regain this concentration.
Yeah, still driving with the warning lights on. So he didn't notice that. No, but yeah, as I said, personal best lap time, tons concentration, and I think now it's around the point where motivation keeps going up. You having one more stop to go, or you are close to driving to the end. You can see the end of the stint, and I think that gives the drivers a push to keep their head down, to bring the best result home in the next 40 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully they can continue on. All of these 4 drivers that are left in this stint. As we already said a few times, unfortunately RX3 couldn't take part because one driver is sick and there is no replacement for him. And as for the other 2 drivers, obviously the driver in charge who should drive the stint has overslept, and probably there was just no other driver available because that one was set for the stint. So yeah, it's unfortunate.
The most important thing is that they will return then for the next stint, and I hope we see the full grid then.
Yeah, hopefully. And also we had a disconnect of Jonas MSC, which was about 2 hours into the stint. So he was there, but unfortunately, yeah, did finish this race without his fault.
You see already blinking red with the fuel, so he's below 10 liters. So pretty much on course to drive to the end of the lap with the fuel. Maybe
yes.
tight calculated, but that should work out.
The tires look very good considering they are 5 laps old, and with the fuel he should go to the end, no problem. Lap time still pretty solid, 1.4 seconds behind his personal best. That would still be an 8:13 if he would finish this lap. But of course he will go into the pits to refuel, and then he can go to the end. Kellerhofer now entering Dottinger Höhe. He will probably have a finishing time of let's say 3 hours 3 minutes, around that area.
If he doesn't have another crash and continues with damage for 3 laps.
Yeah, now let's say in this lap it doesn't work, but if he gets damaged in the next lap, he should just go into the pits and refuel to the end. But luckily this lap was without damage, and now we can go for another fastest lap attempt, or just another solid lap. Anyways, important for PT is just to extend the gap to GTA, which are in position 4 at the moment, 2 minutes behind. That means they are already taking half of the gap away, and they will end up with about 1 minute 45 or 1 minute 30 behind GTA, which would give us a pretty interesting last stint.
Yeah, it's great to see that the overall win is still not decided going into the last stint, and not having any favoritism for anyone, but have it this tight and not decided is obviously great, and speaks for the competition.
Yes. Now as predicted, Junior goes into the pits. He will change tires, refuel to the brim, and then go on to finish the race. P0, let's see if he can overtake Junior. In theory, he should be able to overtake him, but he also needs to look out for his car. He needs to go this one more lap so that he can go for another 4-lap stint in the next stint and go to the finish line as well. Anyway, he seems to overtake Junior now. Junior now exiting the pits.
There he is. Few seconds ahead. Maybe Junior with better tires is able to close that gap a bit, but in theory, Zero Soft should be coming into the pit lane in second place, and then lose that position once more. And as we said, Junior from this point onwards, no scheduled pit stop anymore, is going to the end.
Yeah, but it will still be close between P0 and Ken in the end, because they are about 12 seconds apart, and both of them need to pit once more. P0 needs to do it in this lap, and Ken needs to do it in the next lap. Also, he has a pit stop which is quite a bit shorter than P0. Might be 5 or 6 seconds less in the pits. So the gap between both drivers could shrink down again to
5-7 seconds, something around this area. Definitely something that can be solved on track, where Ken could be able to overtake P0.
I haven't received any answer from Pegasus. I will ping them now and ask them what happened. Jonas DSC as well, yes. Flipsy said he's pretty proud of Dustin. Had to do a double stint and still is improving. I think he's talking about P0. Can it be?
Yup.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also impressed with the performance of P0, because as we already established, he did drive 2 stints in succession, 5.5 hours of driving, and he showed no signs of slowing down. Of course, now in the first few laps in this stint, he was a bit rusty, he was a bit cold, but the longer the stint went, the better he has gotten. Now he has done an 8.13 in lap 16 and 8.14 in lap 17, and is also again on a good lap in this one. So definitely coming up to pace again. Plus, what happened to Jonas? Yeah, he had a disconnect, power outage in the house. Yeah, that's possible.
Killarfer at the moment on a potential new fastest lap of the race. He's 1.3 seconds ahead. So we're talking about possibly mid 8:04.
Very aggressive here on the grass a bit. Comes into the corner with a drift. Hopefully didn't cost any time. Still 1.4 seconds up. This could be an 8:045. Maybe even the fastest lap of the second of the race here. He lost 3/10 now in this sector, but maybe he can gain it back in this one. Nice line through the right-hander, but for the left-hander he was a bit off. Hopefully not that much time loss. He managed das kleine Karussell pretty good. Also good line through Galgenkopf and now the Dottinger Höhe with 1.2 seconds advantage. This should be an 8:04. The gap to P0 is now 2 minutes 1 second, and P0 still needs to pit. Junior has fallen back and has damage. What happened there? Oh no, that's unfortunate.
All over the line. And indeed, 8:04.397. So we found a bit on the last part, and yeah, we have a new fastest lap on the Sunday at least.
Yeah, if not even for the whole Split 2 event. Because I can remember the lap time being an 8:04 as well in the, what was it, second or third stint where Killaraffe was driving. But he was similarly fast. Sure. Yeah. But I was similarly fast in this stint. Mm-hmm. And now he's also again a half second up in this sector. So there's still a lot of him there's still performance to unleash. Let's say this. But unfortunately he has to go to the pit, and this will probably be a penalty. Yes, half a second penalty because he went off in the second part of the Schumacher race. I can remember in 2007 when Niki Lauda was interviewed by RTL, or was it ORF? I don't know. He was asked what he thinks about the chicane being renamed the Schumacher race, and his answer was, "You should name a whole circuit about him."
I remember. Did you know that Niki Lauda also had an interview at the Nordschleife, at the corner where he had his near fatal accident, and the young reporter took him to the place, and Lauda had a croissant from the breakfast with him, and he threw that in the grass, and then they had the interview, and then he showed the reporter, "Oh, look here, there's my ear. There's my ear."
That guy has humor.
Yeah. Junior as well, P0 soft both in the pits.
Yeah, Junior is in the pit for repairing damage, unfortunately. So this throws his strategy a little bit out of the window.
Should be a quick pit stop though. In theory, there's no need to refuel or to change tires, but he changed tires anyway.
He also refueled a bit. And now they're coming out very close together. Only 1.5 seconds in between them. We have a Lexus battle for the end. And if Ken Stumick goes into the pits as well in this lap, then we will even see maybe even a three-way battle.
Quite funny that Stint 4 and 5 had barely any racing, and now after 2.5 hours we have a three-way battle on our hand probably.
Yeah, that's at least one good thing, even if we are so little drivers in this lobby. But at least the drivers are close together from the niveau, from the level, and this means that we still have a close battle for positions from position 2 to 4. None of them is safe.
I think Ken will come out in 4th position, but should have the best performance by the tires, fuel-wise. Will that be even? So hopefully he's quite close, and for the last, what will it be, 20 minutes, quarter hour, it will be a really tight battle.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Ken did improve his best lap time. He did drive an 8:14.125. And hopefully he can keep the pace up and then come out close together with Junior and P0, because Junior seems to be struggling to warm up his tires. P0 at the moment is faster.
Yeah, 1.1 is the gap, so no slipstream for P0 at the moment.
Over the crest.
Yeah, you can see P0 is making up half a tenth in that corner, and he's carrying that momentum now. He feels a bit more comfortable.
Sorry. Also quite a bit different lines, because it seems P0 wins a bit of time in the middle of the corner, in the apex, whereas Junior has a little bit better exit out of corners.
Small mistake, I think.
Yes, P0 came very close.
Yeah.
Now no heroics into turn 1.
That's a credo for this afternoon as well.
Yeah, Ferrari should remember that. And Junior loses control of the car now to the chicane. side by side. P0 had to lift a bit.
Cannot work.
Yeah, we see that Junior is struggling a little bit.
Could be an opportunity, but you have to be really alongside and ahead. Exit seemed to be better for Junior here. He's opening the gap up quite a bit.
Yeah, Junior had a good exit out of Bergwerk. The gap to Ken stays pretty consistent. They are not losing that much time. Now into the Caracciolo carousel, one of my favorite corners on this track, but pretty difficult to drive. Especially the exit. You can lose and win so much time on the exit, just how you are going out of it. And I haven't found a stable way to come out of the corner consistently fast. We can see
I think consistent is the huge deal breaker here. It feels you're doing the same thing, and sometimes the car reacts differently. So you can't risk it every time and be very early on the throttle. Maybe you need some margin of error and be a bit cautious.
Oh, P0!
Oh no.
Now P0 has gone off and got damage. That's unfortunate. Now I don't think he has any other choice than to continue on, because a pit stop will just cost too much time now.
Yeah, 20 seconds with 3 more laps. I think it's close. Yeah. Let's see what he's going to decide in a hot minute.
Yeah, Ken still continues. He will go into the pits in this lap. He only has about 11 or 12 liters left. I also hope that everyone... Oh, Taser has answered, ihn hat's komplett aus dem Leben gehauen. Yeah, probably slept in this case. Okay, Ken now also... Oh, Junior also made a mistake. We haven't seen it, but...
an even bigger one. He's somehow in last position now, and Zero lost quite some time, so Junior must have lost almost 10 seconds.
Yeah. Pretty... also, P0 is much faster on the straights. Maybe his damage is not as severe as it is for Junior. Okay, Ken's still in the pits, and P0 should be approaching quite soon. Yeah, P0 now over the line. It should be enough for Ken to at least come alongside him. Yeah, okay, Ken didn't attack. It's better that way. And now after two 2 hours and 40 minutes, we still have these 3 guys close together within 5 seconds. I will have a short break of 2 or 3 minutes. I will show P0. Until then, I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's see what P0 can do. Obviously, he has the damage. We mentioned before the tire isn't too bad. One can live with that. It's the front bumper that really affects the top speed and makes life difficult. Now is the first chance for Ken to overtake. He's in the slipstream. Where is he going? P0 is leaving the door open. Ken is having a look, but yeah, has to back out of it. Seems like he lost a bit of momentum here. Now back on the Nordschleife. And for the moment he's safe because Hatzenbach, Hoheneichen is part of the track where you really can drive only one file. Driving side by side here is not a good idea. But after that, it's a short straight with Mittelbacher Höhe, Flugplatz, and a long flat out section. Ken has lost quite some time. He was within a second, and now it's almost 2 seconds, so maybe a small mistake at the beginning. Maybe not the tires fully on temperature, coming in a bit wrong, hit the curb wrong, something like that. Oh, you can see easily on the timer how much he's gaining. There was maybe a full second now for this part. And danger is still not over. This is again another high-speed section. Downhill to Fuchsröhre. And JP within 5 seconds behind this duo are now forced. Now he's back within a second. Now some quick corners, Metzgesfeld. So many drivers with mistakes here. Braking, now Kalmhardt. Difficult corner, and cars understeer quite a bit. Now a quick and flowing session with the famous miss-hit-miss. And surprisingly, through the corners, P0 is actually quicker. Gained another 10th here. And wow, in half a second, Ken is struggling despite having a car without any damage. Bit pressure tires. And P0 driving really well in the corners, but is that enough to secure that second position? Challenging part is coming up. And by the way, only 50 more minutes in the stint left. Next stint will be the final one, the 7th and final one. At the beginning, 1.6 is the gap. And that's now 3/10.
Okay, I'm back again. I just had a conversation with my dad. He just came up here and he was asking if he even should drive the last stint. I told him, yeah, please do.
Yeah, I understand both sides. You didn't miss anything. Ken was really close at the beginning of the Nordschleife lap, but had a small error, lost some time. And surprisingly, P0 Soft is quicker in the corners despite the damage. And it's the straights where Ken is gaining so much time at the moment. So I think it will be very important to get a clean run to survive until turn one. I think about 2.5 seconds here. Everything below that, I think Ken will have.
Ooh, with a little slide here, Zero. Wow, that was close. Let's see it in the replay. This was great. Ooh, yeah. That was closer to comfort than it should have been. Anyway, especially at the exit of corners, P0 is gaining a lot on Ken.
Yeah, I don't know what P0 is doing, but in the corners he's really competitive. But I'm afraid that the gap that he has is definitely not enough to survive at the end. We'll be eaten alive on a Döttinger Höhe now.
Yeah, it will be difficult. The Porsche is not the fastest car on the straights, but now Ken did gain another tenth. And it's the gap is 1.1 seconds still. Now into Galgenkopf. Gap goes down even more. And yeah, this will be an easy overtake for Ken. Also into the slipstream. And the overtake is done for the moment. P0 goes into the slipstream. Maybe he can just drag along with him. The gap to Junior is 8.3 seconds, so Junior has much more severe damage than P0. Obviously only light bumper damage for P0, whereas Junior seems to have heavy bumper damage.
Killer Affe in first position with bumper damage as well.
Yeah, somehow he lost a bit of time. There was a mistake somewhere. But yes, 2 more laps for everybody. And for Killer Affe, it will just be important to finish the race, even with damage. There's no need to repair now. And if he can, he should keep up the gap as high as possible so that Ken loses a bit. But yeah, for the next 2 laps, will be difficult to see if something happens. Of course, mistakes can still occur for everybody. But at the moment, the drivers are so close together that they all can finish in time. I also don't know why in GT7 the system changed from having a 10-minute having a 10-minute timer for everybody to finish on this track to the usual 3-minute timer. It really doesn't make any sense. I also have to give a shout out to GTA, because they are always in the mix, and when they take part, they always are. They are consistent. They are always dependable. They always help out if they can. Also, this time with Jailbird hosting a lobby, or at least with the intention to host a lobby, until I said I'm going to host, because Masma can't join you either way. And yeah, very sympathetic team, very likable, and also sometimes good for a good result, especially with Ken and with Kickmack.
Yep, Kickmack even won the race. Of course, Paul disconnected, and that played a role, that made things easier. But nevertheless, really strong performance, and as you said, dependable. They don't make real fuss about them. They turn up, they race, they're fair, they're quick, and yeah, that's what you're looking for.
I've just seen the news that Lance Stroll will not take part in the race today. Probably for the better.
Yeah. That's 2 races in a row, right? Where he qualified in P20.
I don't know if it was in Monza. I thought he was in Q2, but I'm not sure about that. But he's pretty awful in qualifying. He was in P20 a few times, and it's just such a stark contrast to Alonso always being in Q1, even fighting for podium positions, being so consistent with the results, not doing many mistakes. And then there's Lance Stroll, who can't help himself and just increases the crash costs of this team.
That's maybe the reason Aston Martin is going over the budget cap.
Well, at least for them, you could understand them, because Red Bull only comes over the cost because of catering. Anyway, great to see that Red Bull is struggling at least for one race in the season, and I hope that they also will struggle in the race.
Yeah, I think, of course, they deserve the success that they have. It's the fault of the other teams to not be even remotely competitive, but I think everyone is dying for some change at the front.
Yeah, after 10 Max Verstappen wins, it really gets kind of boring. And it was the same way when Ferrari dominated. It was the same way when Mercedes dominated. It's just, at some point you are turning on the TV and you know, oh, okay, Schumacher will win, or in this case, oh, Verstappen will win, but everybody behind him, maybe there's a fight. And the season would be pretty cool if Red Bull wouldn't exist.
Yeah. Then we would have 3, potentially 4 teams with McLaren fighting for wins, and would come to a Grand Prix and we wouldn't even know which teams would be in contention for a podium, let alone for a win. It would be quite interesting, you're right.
But I think the one who would profit the most from this from Red Bull missing would definitely be Alonso, because he has most podiums out of all drivers. And if both Red Bulls are gone, he would also have the most wins. So maybe it would be Alonso leading by, I don't know, 50 points or so.
Yeah, unfortunately, Aston Martin lost quite the momentum. They used to be the second best team. Now it's not quite clear. Ferrari and Mercedes are quite better, in my opinion, and on level with the McLaren team. So I wouldn't know how this would go out for the rest of the season, but it would be a great and interesting championship fight. You're right.
I think it's extremely track dependable because, for example, in Zandvoort, Aston Martin was very strong. Then we come to Monza, and Ferrari is very strong. Now we come to Singapore, where both Ferrari and Mercedes are strong. Also McLaren, and it could just change around in the next race. It could be even different in the even next race. But one thing is for sure, that Red Bull will probably fight for the win. Just not in Singapore for some reason. I heard that they went for the wrong simulator setup, and when they then adapted the setup, they were faster, but the car was uncontrollable over curbs.
Yeah, I can live with that, and I'm pretty happy that we won't have to live with the stat that the team won every race in the season.
Yeah, it can still happen. Who knows? Maybe there's a red flag, or maybe there's a safety car which for some reason puts Red Bull in front. With the damn luck that they have, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Okay, Junior seems to have had another mistake. He's now 23 seconds behind P0. It will be difficult for him to even finish in the 3-minute range.
Yeah, that was my thought as well now. I do hope he can make that.
Yeah,
a bit unfortunate how that fell apart in the last minutes here. He was so close to the others.
Yeah, I could have finished maybe 1 minute 40 or 1 minute 50 behind Kilraff, and now he's a minute apart from the optimum goal.
Time is almost up. The 3 hours are running down, and it will be the leader, Kilaf himself, who will see the checkered flag first. It will take quite some time, and then, yeah, hopefully everyone will end the race on the start-finish straight with the checkered flag within 3-minute time window.
Yeah, the 3 hours have passed now. Now we only have to wait for Kilraff to finish the stint. And then we hope that Junior still comes over the line within these 3 minutes. At the moment he's struggling quite a lot. Hopefully he doesn't make another mistake, and can finish within time. 1.5 seconds slower. This will probably increase even more. Yeah, if you look at most drivers, they are set. I don't think there will be any big changes.
What do you mean, most drivers? There are only 4 currently.
there can still something happen. There can still happen something. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Yeah, for example, Kelleraffe was on pause for a few moments. At least it seemed so that he was on pause.
Okay, I have a look at the gap if we lost some time there. It's currently 2 minutes 11.
Oh, okay. He made a little mistake. That's why he sounded like he was on pause.
He's almost got it. Last time through the small carousel, Galgenkopf, and then one time braking for the last chicane. And it was a job well done. The weird strategy decision, Pumpkin, I didn't really understand. But overall, a decent performance.
Absolutely, yeah. He's finishing with 3 minutes and 3 hours and 3 minutes. So he would still be on a good level in the first split.
Yeah, good
Last few
estimate. You
corners.
said before that this will be 3 hours, 3 minutes. Well done.
I'm pretty good at estimating. I also said that my father will finish his first stint within 3 minutes and 10 to 15 seconds. He was 10 seconds apart only. Thing is, I told him that with 1 hour to go. Now we have only Ken, P0 and Junior driving around, and Junior is still in competition to finish within the 3 hours.
I believe. Stefan Bellover for a Ken. Waldenschwanz. And that is a great feeling when you're done your stint and you know, okay, the last corners, almost done it, and you're okay with what you achieved, and you know you're done for the day and you've done good.
Yes, absolutely. I think for most drivers this will be their last stint ever driving, and hopefully for the last stint we will have a few more drivers. Hopefully at least 7, hopefully even 8 to complete set. Would be great to have at least a good ending to this race.
2, 2, 3. So Ken with the last corners. One time has to brake again. Right, left, and now only the full throttle upshifting, and he's done it. 2 minutes 12 seconds behind Kelleraffe.
Then we have P0, 11 seconds behind Ken, coming over the line with Nate's 21, and then we have Junior still on the straights. Car is pretty slow now, but if he doesn't if he doesn't make a mistake, he should. Oh, look at fuel! Look at the fuel!
Oh please no! He's not going to make it, is he?
Come on, please, come over the
Can do
line.
it.
He
Yes.
ran out of fuel, but he made it over the line just in time. Wow. That's some expert calculations from him. Okay, save the replay and also look at the result so that I can write it down. We have Killer Rafe finishing in 3 hours, 3 minutes, 49 seconds and 308 milliseconds. 2 minute 12 in front of Ken Stummich. P0 in P3 is 2 minute 23 behind, and Junior is 2 minute 58 behind. That was Stint 6. And who's streaming the next one?
Yeah, good question. I'm not sure. Is it Eddie?
I don't know if it's the well, let's look at the time schedule. Oh yeah, it's Eddie. It's Eddie who's streaming. Well, hopefully he can stream because I'm not available for this last stint.
I'm not as well. I've done almost 10 hours now in a row. I'm done for today.
Yeah, I can host, but hosting is not really a job, so.
Yeah.
Taking the picture. Okay. Then we can also adapt the DNF calculation. Okay. Alright, I have the gaps together. That means I can now finish the stream. Thank you for commentating with me. It was a pleasure.
Same. Likewise, Confi.
And yeah, hopefully we will see us in the last stint. I hope Eddie will be streaming. Otherwise, yeah, we might need a reserve.
Okay. I hope that works out.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Confi.
Thanks, Charles. Goodbye.